Hey everybody, this is just going to be a fairly quick video because I have ultimately made a decision to not review Call of Duty Black Ops 7. The gameplay footage you'll be seeing in the background was recorded from their recent free trial event where they had the game available to play for a few days for free. At least the multiplayer and the zombies component. I didn't mess around with zombies because I don't give a single solitary crap about the zombies modes in any of those games. And I did mess around with the multiplayer, but it was somewhat restricted, so you couldn't do things like choose which operator you wanted to play unless you had played the beta and you thus had access to the one character that had a beta skin as an option, which was a bit weird. And it also restricted which playlists you have access to, and you couldn't customize any of the playlists. So obviously this free trial period has been a fairly compromised experience, so you're not really getting the full picture. It's not really showing off any of the game's strong suits, which it does have a couple of them. Namely, the soundtrack isn't bad. I mean, it's Jack Wall still doing his thing, so it's decent stuff. It's got a remix of Adrenaline from Black Ops 2, which was the multiplayer theme in that. Catchy tune, catchy in this one as well, and of course the Zombies mode has a remix of that classic piano theme that Zombies mode is associated with. But anyway, aside from the soundtrack and some of the things that were carried forward from previous games, like the general gameplay mechanics still being fine. I mean, it's a Call of Duty game. If you played a Call of Duty game in the past several years, basically since Modern Warfare 2019, you know what to expect from this. Although, of course, this is more in keeping with the last several years where they have tried to turn this franchise into what some people refer to as a movement shooter franchise, even though the movement in Call of Duty has increasingly gotten janky and annoying. And, of course, Black Ops 7 is no exception there. They have decided that instead of wall running, you can just do a wall bounce. And that's pretty much it. It's otherwise more or less the same movement system from Black Ops 6, only with some of the rougher edges of Black Ops 6's system smoothed out a bit. So it is mechanically fine for the most part. It's just that it's very unremarkable compared to Black Ops 6, because it's more or less a standalone expansion pack to Black Ops 6 that they're trying to sell as a full game. Basically the same kind of thing that happened with Modern Warfare 3 2023, only the difference here is that in Modern Warfare 3 2023, it was basically treated like a standalone expansion pack, so all of the content from the previous game, Modern Warfare 2 2022, carried forward into the new game. That's not the case with Black Ops 6 to Black Ops 7. Black Ops 6 is its own thing, and now Black Ops 7 is its own self-contained thing. So things like weapon unlocks, various cosmetic unlocks, things like that, do not carry forward into the new game. Instead, the only thing that carries forward is whatever COD points you have, because those are shared between all of the Call of Duty games, as one would expect, considering that is the premium currency that Call of Duty uses. And honestly, it's pretty insulting they think they can get away with this. It's basically a standalone expansion pack for Black Ops 6 that they're selling for the full $70 US for the standard edition, and $100 US for the premium edition, or whatever it's called. I think it's like Vault Edition these days, or whatever it is. And to put it simply, there is absolutely no way in hell anyone should ever be paying anywhere near that much for Black Ops 7. Frankly, it shouldn't have been sold for more than $20 US as an actual expansion pack to Black Ops 6, but that's not where we're at. Activision just utterly refuses to make sensible decisions that are actually pro-consumer, and it's finally starting to bite them. The sales for this game have been pretty abysmal by Call of Duty standards, and considering that as I'm recording this video, the game is on sale for 30% off and is undergoing a free trial period, it's clear Activision can't simply shrug it off this time, so that's a good thing as far as I'm concerned. Like with most AAA game franchises, Call of Duty will not improve unless it is forced to. And the only real way that players have of forcing that kind of change on a developer or publisher is by voting with their wallet. It's doing things like not buying the game, not buying microtransactions, all that kind of stuff. And so it's clearly working in the case of Black Ops 7, at least to some degree. Enough that Activision felt the need to include a free trial period and a 30% off sale only a month after the game released. Now, of course, whether or not that will be maintained throughout the entire game's lifespan is another matter entirely. Who knows, maybe people are waiting until the holidays themselves arrive to actually unwrap their copies of Black Ops 7 or get their gift keys or whatever it may well be. I don't know. But honestly, I just hope this trend continues, that the game continues to lose its already relatively dwindling player base, and that the general populace doesn't buy the game, that they see it for what it is, which is slop. It is absolute slop. And there is nowhere where that is on display more than in the campaign. This time around, they couldn't even be bothered to make an actual single-player campaign. They decided that they would try to be innovative and include a co-op only campaign. Now, you can technically play it solo if you use a bit of a workaround to get that way, but if you don't do that, then either you need a party of people to play with, or it's just going to match you with randos, and that's obviously never going to go well in a game like Call of Duty these days. But of course, because the campaign is co-op only, that also means it is always online. You can't pause it, ever. And if you stay inactive for too long, you will be kicked from your own campaign that you are playing solo because you have hit the timeout period, which is just downright absurd. That is something that should never happen when you're playing the campaign of any game out there. The only real exception there is if the campaign you're playing is only for multiplayer matches, something like the Star Wars Battlefront campaigns from back in the day where it was just a sequence of multiplayer matches, so it kind of made sense then. But that's not how the campaign of Black Ops 7 is. It is a story-driven campaign, and there's no real reason for you not to be able to play it solo offline. And to put it simply, I have no interest in dealing with any of that crap. I don't mind it so much if I'm playing multiplayer because it's expected in multiplayer. But as far as I'm concerned, that kind of crap has no place in the campaign, and I don't feel like putting up with it. I mean, hell, I could barely even put up with the multiplayer long enough to get the gameplay clips you've been seeing throughout this video. The maps are just absolutely tiny and incredibly cramped in this game, even more so than they normally are for Call of Duty. They just feel microscopic almost. And to make matters worse, because they're all 3-lane garbage maps, because Treyarch has absolutely no idea how to make any other map design than 3 lanes, they all feel the same too, no matter which one you're playing. And that factor is made even worse with the map voting system, because more often than not, people are going to vote the same 2 or 3 maps in over and over and over again, so you're going to have incredibly low variety of maps. And considering they all feel the same, you definitely need that visual change at least, because otherwise you are just going to get tired of it incredibly quickly. And that's exactly what happened to me here. I frankly have no interest in this game whatsoever anymore. It's just something that I was thinking about maybe doing a review of in the future at some point if I could get it on sale for cheap. But now I don't even want to do that. I have seen what is on offer in this game, and it's just pure unadulterated slop. Of the worst kind, in fact. There is a lot of AI-generated garbage in this game, whether it's things like calling cards or emblems or whatever, and I honestly wouldn't even be surprised if they had used AI to generate the entire story of this game too, because from what I've seen of the campaign, it was just such nonsensical, borderline incomprehensible drivel that it was legitimately giving me a severe headache just trying to process it, and that was through video. If I had been playing it, it would have been considerably worse, and while that might be amusing for you, the viewer, it certainly wouldn't be amusing for me, and it would have felt ultimately futile anyway, because the campaign's already been covered in pretty excruciating detail by a lot of other YouTubers out there. So up until I found out they were doing a free trial, I decided I wasn't going to do a video on this game at all, but then they made the free trial, so you're getting this. Whatever you can consider it as. Obviously, it's not my normal kind of video. I much prefer doing proper full-on reviews and that kind of stuff, but Black Ops 7 doesn't deserve that courtesy. I was somewhat willing to give them the benefit of the doubt when they tried this previously with Modern Warfare 3 2023, because that was originally meant to be just an expansion pack to Modern Warfare 2 2022, but then Activision Corporate got involved and decided to make it a full standalone game, which it really wasn't, and that was a whole mess. Black Ops 7, on the other hand, just exudes contempt for the player base. Like, they just outright think that everybody is going to gobble up whatever slop they shovel out, no matter how bad that slop is. And if they're going to treat their customer base with that level of contempt, they shouldn't be surprised when that customer base evaporates and people do not buy the game and do not play it, because that is exactly what's been happening, and as far as I'm concerned, is what should continue to happen. No matter what updates they push out for this game, nobody should be buying it, and nobody should be playing it. And maybe if enough people stop supporting the slop, we will actually get some real change in this industry, and the Call of Duty series might actually start becoming better again. I'm certainly not going to be holding my breath on that, but it's a possibility at the very least. At any rate, thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you all in later videos.